Hello everyone, my name is Zhang Sansan. So today's presentation is for my final year project, the exploration of emotional cognition and behavior effect of TikTok among teenagers. I'm from University Putra Malaysia and Bachelor of Communication majoring in broadcasting. For my project, I'm supervised by my Dr. Van Anita. The next is the chapter 1, the background of study. So what is the short video? Short video is an innovative mode of video, and short video is a video with a length of less than 50 minutes. Zhao and Wang observed that short videos are rapidly becoming a new growth point in the internet market due to their ease of generation, rapid dissemination, and social nature. And what is TikTok? We know that it's an application and it's a product focused on the a short video social networking service owned by Chinese company ByteDance. In today's society, the growth of teenagers is largely influenced by the internet society. Online world brings a lot of change in teenagers' life. Short video also influence them, which have profound impact on the growth of young people. The next is the problem statement. The rapid growth of short video recent years. New demonstrates that the number of teenagers using TikTok social media application is very huge. Wang and Liu state that TikTok is influencing teenagers in subtle way. So what exactly is the impact of TikTok on teenagers? In our daily lives, we can find that if a word or a song or music is popular on TikTok and many teenagers start using it in our real life, this is the impact TikTok of teenagers. Young categories the impact of the internet on people as cognitive, emotional, and behavior. So we can imagine TikTok videos among teenagers also affects their cognitive, emotional, and behavior. Therefore, this study is a groundbreaking exploration of impact of TikTok on teenagers from cognition, emotional, and behavior. The next is the research objectives. The general objectives is exploring the impact of using TikTok among teenagers, and the specific objectives is explore the impact of TikTok on teenagers' emotional, on teenagers' cognitive, and on teenagers' behavior. And the research question, how does TikTok affect teenagers' emotional attitudes and teenagers' cognitive and teenagers' behavior? The next is the significance of study. For the practical significance, I want to bring new ideas for the survival and development of the short video industry and promote the growth of content creators, both individuals and the organizations. Promote the high quality communication of TikTok among teenagers to achieve better and more positive communication effects. For the theoretic, the study explores the impact of TikTok on cognitive, emotional, and behavioral profiles of TikToks and fills the theoretical gap in the study of the impact of social media on teenagers. The next is the scope. The study mainly discusses the effects of TikTok on emotional, cognitive, and behavior of teenagers. And for the study also have some limitation. On the one hand, because of the COVID-19, and on the other hand, the content of the survey will vary somewhat depending on education level, age, social status, and exposure. The next is chapter 2. Chapter 2 is literature review and the background of short videos and TikTok. In the first part, Vander Smithson states short videos are generally more popular than graphic forms on the internet, and Lee states TikTok has used the celebrate effect and advertising. Dean observed short videos like TikTok can form a good virtual space, and John observed the short social demand for information and entertainment has led to the rapid development of short videos. The second part, the spread of TikTok among teenagers. News states the number of teenagers using the TikTok is huge, and short videos had rapidly penetrated into teenagers' life, and one states the main purpose of TikTok for teenagers are, for example, to express themselves through videos and to gain attention from online friends and so on. TikTok is easily operated and widely distributed. Therefore, it's also widely spread among teenagers. The third part, the impact of spread of TikTok on teenagers. One states that TikTok has both positive and negative effects on youth communication. Wang and Liu states the same with Wang again. Yang observed TikTok celebrity are highly influential on purchase intentions of minors, and Rudy states the spread of short videos had also had a great impact on the education of teenagers. Here is a research framework. In my study, I set two individual variable and the dependent variable. For the independent variable, they are the time of teenagers spent using TikTok per day and the specific age of the teenagers, and the dependent variable is the impact of teenagers. The next is the chapter 3 methodology. So for the research design, I use the quantitative research to analyze the data and describe the study to answer the objective. For the population, cause in my study, the target is the teenagers. So what is the teenagers? The World Health Organization released that the age range of teenagers is 14 to 25 years old. According to Kanoma, the number of teenagers more than 5 million by 2021 in Malaysia. For this questionnaire, I will be sending 300 copies to the target group. So here is the questionnaire. I set 4 sections about my questionnaire. Section A is demographic and the basic using situation of TikTok. There are 4 questions, for example, gender, age, and so on. Section B is cognition of teenagers when they're using TikTok. There are 3 questions. And Section C, emotional attitudes of teenagers when they're using TikTok. There are 3 questions too. And the Section D, behavior of teenagers when they're using TikTok. There are 4 questions. All of Section B, Section C, Section D is like it skill item, and all of them adapted from young categories the impact of the internet on people as cognition, emotional, and behavior. The next is the variables. So just mention the independent variable and dependent variable, and I want to say that all the question about independent variable in section A and or the dependent variable question in section B, section C, and section D. The next is the chapter 4. So when I give this data from the questionnaire, I use SPSS to the frequency analyze for section A. This is the chart 1. In this survey, I hand off 300 questionnaires to the target audience, and total of 166 questionnaire responses were collected by target audience. In terms of demographic, 38% of teenagers is males and 62% is females. In terms of TikTok usage, 94% have used it. It's a very huge number. And a whopping 68% teenagers use TikTok for more than 1 hour a day. The next one is correlation analyze. This is the chat 2. And we can find from the chat 2 emotional and the cognitive will correlated with age, and the behavior and the cognition will correlated with time spent on TikTok per day. There is a correlation between the dependent variable and independent variable in this survey. Here is the cognitive impact of using TikTok among teenagers. Here is the chat 3, descriptive statistics of cognition. So for this, I find the mean is 11 and the ratio to the maximum value of 15 reached nearly 64%. Teenagers' sense of approval when using TikTok increases with the length of using time. Their cognition of function value, content value, and the divergent value of TikTok. Cognition's impact of function value is higher than content value and higher than divergent value. Among teenagers who use short videos, the daily duration of TikTok use and the age of teenagers were positively correlated with cognitive um, acceptance. This chapter 4 is about the descriptive statistic of emotional attitude. We can find the mean is nearly 11 and the ratio of the mixed medium value 15 reached 77%. When using TikTok, teenagers' emotion attitudes influenced by increasing length of using time and age. Imagine the visual process can reflect the natural expression of teenagers. Visuals are the window through teenagers observe and feel the world. TikTok is in line with the needs of teenagers and that they identify with the community through emotional resonance. They are influenced by their emotional attitude toward the platform or short video social media. The next is the behavior impact of using TikTok among teenagers. We can see the chat 5 descriptive statistics of behavior. So for this chart, we can find the mean is nearly 16 with a ratio of nearly 69% to maximum value of 20. Teenagers' behavior increases incrementally as they get older and spend more time using also. The question of chapter 5 are the browsing, creating, interacting, and consuming behaviors of teenagers in the process of using TikTok. Among the behaviors, the act correction is enhanced and can strengthen the close connection between users and the platform for interactive behavior to occur because the platform places the content at the core. TikTok, which distributes video based on the content of the video rather than the video producer, doesn't have strong attraction ability. The last is the chapter 5. Chapter 5 is about the conclusion. So at first, the specific age of the teenagers and the length of time they used TikTok per day were positively correlated with their impact as the independent variable increases so that their impact gradually depends. As for the cognitive influence of teenagers, it suggests that video creators to improve short videos quantity that can improve content creation for teenagers and add content creators to TikTok. And teenagers' emotions are also greatly affected when they use TikTok. So content creators need to think about their content to show a better quality of positive thoughts and emotions constituency in their videos because the teenagers will influenced by their content. And for video creators, I have some suggestion. I think they should pay attention to the content section and choose suitable and highly targeted content direction, which is more conducive to the behavior involvement of young users. And at the end, however, same as with other studies, this study has also some limitations. Just mentioned the limitations across the sampling section, cause this limitation comes from the limited amount of data collected. On the other hand, the impact of COVID-19. If this study can be further extended to a large population, the study can be further developed uh, to make a objective study fully justified. The next is the reference. Thank you, that's all. Thank you for your listening.